Being in a constant state of soul 24/7. Part of the divine. Soul is referred to as a part of the divine. That's what it says in Job chapter 31 verse 2. These seemingly simple words convey most of what we need to know about what the soul is, its divine essence, but only a part of the divine essence. A part of the divine only the lowest part of the soul is inside the body. The great majority of the soul reaches beyond the body up to the highest heights. This explains the essential upward striving of the soul, as if it wants to escape from the body and return to its heavenly home. The soul, prior to entering the body, was in a world of souls, a very pure and sublime world where the souls are as yet untested by the coarse and dark reality of the materialistically oriented body. Besides the soul's memory of life prior to the body, the soul has a super consciousness that draws from that part of itself that is presently not inside of the body, which comprises the great majority of its makeup. Just like the candle flame that is constantly striving to reach beyond its limiting, grounding wick, the soul strives to reach beyond the limiting mindset and consciousness that is presently confined to inside of the body. Striving to grow, to go beyond itself, and to somehow return to its infinite divine roots. Internal and transcendental levels. As a result of the souls being partially inside and partially outside of the body, there comes into being two inner drives, an internal drive and an external drive. The internal drive is called the Orpanimi, the inner light, where the person seeks to perfect that part of the soul that is inside of himself. This internal drive is further subdivided into three other drives or soul levels referred to as Nefesh, the lowest level closest to our physicality and experienced as the inner drive to be active and to do and to accomplish. And then Ruach, the middle level, experienced as a bubbly overflow of energy and thought associations and insights. And then Neshama, the highest level of internal soul, experienced as that part of ourselves that guides us in divine purity and wisdom and creativity through a conduit that draws down all of this divine guidance from above. Ididi-da-da-da. 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 Ididi-da. The external or surrounding or transcendent drive is called the Or Makif, the transcendent drive. This drive is based on the little bit that we can fathom and pick up on a part of our soul that is beyond our body. This transcendent level is also subdivided. First of all, into Chaya, that is experienced as a part of ourselves that is not concerned with our own personal perfection, but rather with cosmic perfection. Tikkun Olam, rectification of the world. We all have this level accessible to us, but rare is the person whose dominant trait is Chaya. This person is a very inspirational person, a visionary. Someone whose main concern for themselves and for all of the myriads of people that they motivate is to serve as the primary agents of Hashem in bringing one and all in the nation, in the world, to a state of healing and enlightenment. And then Yechida. Yechida is the highest soul level. It's experienced as a drive towards pure Dveikut or God consciousness 24/7. The Yechida person focuses all that happens to them in life to be within the context of God, constantly seeking ways to bring about a reality for themselves and for the world, where nothing else exists except for God, a return to the infinite divine womb. The soul is a part of the divine. The bottom line is that the soul is divine. Its main drive is God, doing God's will, emulating God, being in God, consciousness, etc. And this is what it's doing inside of the body and inside of the world, where God's presence is hidden. The soul comes to wake up and reveal God in the midst of this hiddenness. It comes to transform a person who naturally has a strong inclination to follow bodily, non-godly drives into seeking God in the midst of day-to-day mundaneness. The soul is assisted in its task by soul-like aids such as the mitzvot, which are all designed to bring God into our lives in all aspects of our lives, especially those aspects where God's presence is not felt or found. The Torah as well aids the soul in its mission by revealing God's will and guidance in endless realms of life where God's will and guidance are not known. Prayer also seeks to bridge this gap. The soul in its mission to divinize goes through a perfection process which spans hundreds or thousands of years and many lifetimes until it finally reaches its goal in a state of enlightenment. Here's some experiencing the soul meditations. Experience your soul, your deepest essential self is reaching beyond yourself, all the way up to the highest of heights, with only the lowest part of it inside of yourself. Focus on the fact that this part of yourself, your soul that is above and beyond you, contains all of the consciousness and wisdom that you will eventually fathom and internalize as you continue to grow. Experience your soul's lowest level, nefesh, a quiet space, a space that motivates you to act and accomplish things, to be grounded and aware of your body and the world around you, to be aware that all that you sense and encounter in the world are opportunities for growth and perfection. Experience your soul's next highest level ruach as a bustling, bubbly overflow of energy and ideas and connections and associations and insights. Sources of wisdom showing you how everything is unified and everything comes together when you contemplate and dissociate your thoughts. Experience your soul's next level neshama as a serene and sublime knowing, a knowing that is at one at the same time yours, yet beyond you, a gift from above. Feel the purity and joy and love and creativity. Let all these feelings fill you up from head to toe. Connect to a deep knowing that is beyond your normal wisdom, and remember this sacred space that you can access it whenever you need to in your life. Experience your soul's next level chaya as an inner drive that is not concerned with yourself so much, but rather with the well-being of the world at large. Feel the inspiration that you feel when you begin to envision how you can help make the world a better place. Let your vision play itself out without any limitations, and feel how Hashem constantly empowers you and others to contribute to the manifestation of the vision in unique ways that you and every other person can contribute. Experience your soul's highest level, Yechida, as an inner drive to be at one with Hashem, to return to the divine, infinite womb, to be motivated in all that you do by nothing else except to be a conduit for godliness in the world, especially where God's presence is not felt. Now experience the various soul expressions that most everyone experiences. Feel your soul when you do an extraordinary good deed and feel very good about it, or have overcome doing something wrong and have a wonderful feeling of satisfaction. Feel your soul when you feel guilt over doing something very wrong. Feel your soul when you feel a very deep longing and you sometimes don't even know why. Feel your soul when you suddenly feel that your life is not going in the right direction and that you must change. Feel your soul when you first wake up in the morning and you have a very strong feeling about yourself, whether it be good or bad, based on what you have or have not accomplished or have not become or become recently. Feel your soul when you feel embarrassed about being exposed to doing things below your level. Feel your soul when you feel a strong fear or intuition about losing or harming something precious to you. Feel your soul when you feel a powerful drive or craving to attain a spiritual state of being, such as wisdom, happiness, willpower, holiness. Feel your soul when you feel all tingling inside when you exchange an expression of love with a beloved friend or anyone else for that matter. Feel your soul when you are in a situation of do or die and you feel an overpowering need to survive. Feel your soul when you feel a need to perpetuate your unique teachings and insights and other spiritual contributions to people now in your lifetime and to others who will receive them after you pass on. Feel your soul when you feel a strong desire to extend externally and infinitely the most powerful of your spiritual experiences and accomplishments. And then there are the experiences of the soul experiences of the enlightened ones as taught to us in the Book of Lights of Holiness by Rabbi Avraham Yitzchak Zatzal. Experience the following soul stirrings and drives that are felt by those who are well on their way towards achieving levels of perfection and expanded consciousness and enlightenment. The inner soul drive to know yourself and to react properly to your inner summons. The inner soul drive to become so clear and enlightened that you know that a similar awakening of the masses is sure to follow. The inner drive to purify and intensify all of your intentions until you see that most all of your intentions manifest in reality. The inner awakening and knowledge that the true experience of enlightenment is not something that you anticipate to experience in the future, but rather something that you constantly are immersed in now. The inner awareness that your unique essential self or soul spark must be completely free to express itself with maximum originality and authenticity. The inner drive to liberate your unique ability to create without any interference. The inner wisdom to distinguish when to detach yourself from others in order to strive for deeper enlightenment, when to get involved with others, those who need you, though they be on a much lower spiritual level than you are. The inner drive to be in a constant state of amazement and celebration of all of the divine wonder that emanates at all times. The inner consciousness of knowing that all there is in a state of continual becoming. The inner consciousness of knowing that all there is in a continual state of becoming. The inner consciousness of knowing that all there is in a continual state of becoming. The inner concern for the well-being of the whole universe and everyone in it, and everyone that you personally encounter. The inner capacity to see everyone with a divine eye filled with caring and benevolence and love for everyone. And a desire that they all do and become the best that they possibly can. The soul can be felt and tapped into at propitious moments of deep feeling. Don't necessarily apply to what's going on at the time. The soul can be measured and realized by the level of and grasp of esoteric teachings that we have all the time. The soul can be expressed and rectified by the way that we express the words of our prayers and studies and all other devotions. The soul can be identified and realized by taking note of the smoothness level of all of the events and relationships and inner drives and words and mitzvot and Torah that we express and encounter in our lives. All of these are indications of the extent of soul rectification that is still needed or not, based on earlier encounters that we have had in this and in previous lifetimes. The soul can be measured by the clarity as well as number of other factors involved in visualizing the four-letter divine name in our mind's eye. The soul can be identified and perfected by tapping into the natural values and drives that we hold by or that we want to hold by. The soul can be measured and actualized by the way we execute a plan from its inception all the way through to its completion. The soul can be measured and perfected by the level of concrete versus abstract articulation with which we see and encounter the world and the way that we express ourselves. The soul can be measured and actualized by the degree of godliness that pervades our lives. The soul can be measured and actualized by the degree of total self-actualization and realization that we feel and express. The soul can be measured and realized by the extent that we contain others inside of ourselves. The soul can be measured and realized by the way and the extent that we prepare for our post-life in this life. The soul can be measured and realized by the way and to the extent that we are primarily motivated in all of our life choices to return to the infinite and divine womb consciousness that our souls come from prior to being clothed in our bodies. Here's some soul awakening meditations. Number 1, God at the center. Know that one of the most important indications of the level of your soul, both your inherent level in this lifetime as well as the extent of your soul, that your soul is awakened to function at its full potential, is the extent that you make God the center and dominant factor in your life. Know that the soul is referred to as Chelek Elokim Ma'al, an inseparable part of Hashem. Know that the highest level of the 5 levels of soul is called the Yechida, or the singleness. Yechida is characterized by its single-minded drive to make God the center of everything. Farther away from spirituality we are, the greater is the absence of godliness. Awaken your natural drive to be as close to God as you possibly can. Experience your inner desire to be loved, protected, and guided by God. Experience your innermost will to return to the divine and infinite womb, the womb that your soul came from prior entering your body, and to where it will return in the post-life. See how this primal will to return to this womb influences and elevates many other motivations that you have. See yourself slowly but surely awakening the godliness in your thoughts and feelings and actions, until your soul is truly awakened to the reality that God is the center of your existence, and by extension so is your godly soul. Deep feeling elevation meditation. Know that your soul constantly expresses itself in the day-to-day mundane happenings of your life, but we almost never hear its voice speaking to us. Because we think that we are always just reaching to the mundane materialistic circumstances that we're involved in. Know that whenever we feel deeply, whether it be happy or sad, or longing, a blissful feeling, or any other deep feeling that we experience, these are the expressions of the soul. These are the expressions of the soul. The present circumstances that we have found ourselves in may have tapped these feelings, perhaps from memories hidden deep inside our subconscious minds, but it is your soul, nevertheless, that's talking to you. Know that you can elevate this soul expression by stopping and reciting a holy verse or psalm, and thereby open up a steadily increasing awareness of your soul's expression. Awaken your awareness of your soul's communication. Experience in the present, past, and future a time of deep, deep feeling. Elevate that deep feeling by plugging it into a verse from the Psalms. Most any verse you click on will do. But you may want to begin with a verse such as Lev Tahor Barali Elokim. God created inside me a pure soul. Say your verse over and over again, like a mantra with all deep emotion that you feel. Cry it out, shout it out if you need be. Lev Tahor Barali Elohim. Lev Tahor Barali Elohim. Ruach nachon chadesh bekirbi. Ruach nachon chadesh bekirbi. Lev Tahor Barali Elohim. Lev Tahor Barali Elohim. Ruach nachon chadesh bekirbi. Ruach nachon chadesh bekirbi. Now pray spontaneously in your own words for whatever it is that you hear that you're yearning for inside your soul. See yourself doing this more and more often, slowly but surely awakening your soul's voice and receiving the divinely guided messages that it seeks to give you. And finally, soul smoothness meditation. Know that there exists at all times one of the most incredible languages or forms of communication just beyond our present grasp. Unless we tune into it, the soul is speaking to us at all times in the language of smoothness. When we feel that the words that we speak and the actions that we do come out smoothly and flowingly, when we see that the decisions that we decide are easy to decide and play themselves out in our lives in a smooth, deep, providential way, then we are being informed by all of these green lights to carry on happily with what we are doing and how we're doing it. These are indications that our souls are not lacking anything. Perhaps we took care of all these realms properly in previous lifetimes or earlier in this lifetime. However, when things don't go smooth for us in any of these areas, this is an indication that our soul is lacking something. Some type of rectification is called for. If we listen deeply to our souls, this too can be deciphered. Know also that when we are especially drawn towards any particular person or situation or piece of wisdom or inner desire, here too our souls are lacking that very thing which we are drawn towards. Awaken. Awaken the awareness of your soul's inner voice, speaking to you in the language of smoothness. Listen how smooth your words are when you pray, or study, or speak with somebody. Try to understand what is the message that your smoothness or lack thereof is conveying to you. Watch for the smoothness factor of the events in your life that are the results of a plan or a choice that you made or a challenge that you faced. See if you can understand from the smoothness level what is the message that is being taught to your soul. Experience how you resonate with different people and situations. When you feel very drawn to them, ask yourself, what is it about this compelling person or situation that is lacking and needed for my soul? And act upon it as best as you can. See yourself slowly, but surely awakening this inner soul language in your life.